Ladies and gentlemen, yes, Justin Rufus fucking Gaethje is a UFC champion once again, albeit interim champion. He's never been undisputed, as you guys know. But off the top of my head, I think he can be the only one to claim to be a two-time interim champion, which nothing to be ashamed about, especially in the 155 division, one of the toughest divisions in history of the UFC, if not the toughest. But I think he took inspiration from watching my video. He saw the breakdown. He saw the game plan that I thought Patty was going to present. And he said, fuck it. I'm gonna prove Halo MMA wrong and fucking beat the fuck out of Paddy Pimblett, which he did. But yeah, welcome to this UFC 322 takeaways video. We're going to talk about it, at least one takeaway from each fight. And I know this is probably a little late for it, but fuck it, I don't care. I gotta do my first 4 subscribers. Grand total of 4 now, guys. It's going up. And shout out to my boy Howie or Huey. Nah, I think it's Howie. But like I said, bro, I'm not gonna let you down. It's 10, 11 days later, but I hope you're watching this and let me know what you think in the comments if you're still there. But let's get straight into it, man. Uh, yeah, this was a fucking banger. A fight of the year candidate. We saw, I believe, 350 plus significant strikes, if not 400. I may be totally wrong on that, but it was a great fucking fight. I mean, Paddy Pimblett wasn't ever able to establish anything on the ground. I knew he would use the striking a lot, but I thought he would use it a lot more to set up the takedowns, and that just never really happened. We saw a 5 round striking battle, which, most people aren't going to complain. A lot of casuals, a lot of people's first ever UFC fight or event was this card and this main event. So I won't complain. I mean, it was a great fucking fight. Not the result that I thought or was expecting. I'm not going to say I was mad about it, but fight of the year candidate. I know we're in January, but it's hard to see how many other people are going to have better fights than this. But I think the main thing I took away from this fight was that the top 4 guys in this division are just levels above Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. I don't want to give any shit to these guys, but this is not the fight that we wanted, especially for an interim title. You talk about Arman Sarukian, Max Holloway, fucking, who's the other guy I'm forgetting? Charles Oliveira, and obviously Ilya Topuria. All 4 of those guys slime these 2 guys out. And yeah, there's no other way to put it. And now we know that wins against Justin Gaethje have actually aged tremendously. He beat Fiziev twice in his latest. He got his shit beaten out of by Max Holloway, but it's Max Holloway at 155. We kind of have seen a new prime in Max Holloway. And a win versus a modern day fighter in Paddy Pimblett. We'll see how Paddy Pimblett's career goes from this point. It was a little bit disappointing. I think people who wanted Paddy Pimblett to win, it just felt natural for him to win this fight and take the moment. And he didn't do it. He didn't get the job done. And I'm curious to see where he goes from here. And I think we also found out that Paddy Pimblett just can't fucking wrestle at all to save his life. At least in an actual fight in MMA, because I wouldn't say he had a lot of opportunities to do it, but he didn't really try to do it. He had some good moments on the feet, but if he would have mixed up the wrestling, and I mean wrestling to be able to take Justin Gaethje down, then he could have brought in his jiu-jitsu to do a lot more damage on the ground. So I don't know what the fuck the game plan was for Paddy Pimblett. I sure as hell know the game plan wasn't to strike for 5 rounds. And if it was, either Paddy Pimblett's just fucking delusional or his coaches are doing him way too dirty. But yeah, like I said, fight of the year candidate, great fight. I hope we see more main events like this, especially now in the Paramount era. Moving up, we got Shigashan against Song Yadong. And I'm going to be honest, this fight was a lot less exciting than I thought. I figured Sean O'Malley would kind of game plan like this, but I just thought he would strike a lot more. He would be willing to strike a lot more because he would have a lot of advantages. which he did. He had the range advantage, and he used it wisely, and he was able to set up different combos that worked for him. But overall, I think it was kind of disappointing. It was a disappointing fight. Um, we just didn't see that performance that we wanted to from either of these guys, and especially from Sugar. Which to take away from this, I think Sugar should be next after Marab. I don't think he put up a fight where you're saying, give him the title shot next. And I know Dana fucking Baldy White loves Sugar Sean for some reason, maybe because he's boys with the Nelk Boys or something. I don't know what it is, but I just don't think this is a fight that warrants that title shot immediately, where you're saying that if Sugar Sean doesn't get it, he was robbed from it. So I think he probably needs one more win, or maybe wait it out after Marab. I think if he waits it out either way, he'll get it. Just because we'll talk about the other guy and Umar, his performance. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a good, close, striking matchup. None of them really want. Well, I will say we expected Song Yadong to mix it up a little bit more, or mix it up more than Sugar, which he did. Uh, but Sugar's good on the ground, man. He's able to get back up, and only had little moments on the ground. So props to him. I think that's one other takeaway that we can say after this fight. And I think both of them are kind of who we think they are. I don't think this performance warrants anyone to say that Sugar's gonna beat Yan. And obviously we've seen him fight Marab 2 times, so I don't know if he beats him, or I know that he doesn't beat him, the third time. So even against Umar, I mean, Umar had a boring ass performance. But I just think it'd be kind of a tit for tat battle. And Song Yadong, we know he's good. We know he's really good. But once he gets the elite guys in the top 3, top 5, we don't see the efficiencies in his game, but we just kind of see how he's not a level below Sugar, but just a level where he can't get the job done. And he's still super young, so I think we'll have some more success in the future. But yeah, I think both of you guys are who we think they are. And it was a pretty good fight. I mean, nothing too much to say. I think overall the card was just kind of disappointing in special moments, but pretty good fight. And yeah, moving up the card. We're moving down the card. Yeah, Waldo Cortes Acosta knocked out Derek Lewis in the second round. And I say knockout with quotations because did Derek Lewis just give up? What the fuck happened? I know this is a Derek Lewis fight, and I know that that's kind of what we expect from a Derek Lewis fight and a Derek Lewis performance, but yeah, it was just kind of weird. It was a simpleton's jab, and he got knocked down for some reason. I don't know what happened. It was kind of weird. It was just kind of like like I said, like he gave up. So I don't know where Derek Lewis goes from here. It was a weird performance, kind of a boring fight all the way up to this moment. And yeah, nothing much else to say from Derek Lewis. I think if anything, what we can take from Waldo Cortes Acosta is that he's kind of in a limbo for the title shot, because we're either gonna get that rematch, quote unquote rematch, from Cyril Gane and Tom Aspinall, or Alex Pereira moves up. I think if Alex Pereira moves up, because Tom Aspinall can't fight, obviously they're going to favor him over Waldo Cortes Acosta, and they're going to give it to Cyril Gane. I mean, there's no reason not to. He put up a decent fight against Tom Aspinall. I say decent fight, in terms of a fight that only lasted 4 minutes. But yeah, so I think Waldo Cortes Acosta is kind of in a weird spot. I don't think he's up next, but I don't really think he needs to fight anyone else to get the title shot. Maybe a Volkov or an Almeida if he's really feeling it. But I think if he just stays, I think if he does something like Sugar where he waits it out, he'll be next in line. And I mean, yeah, the only other note I have here is that, Waldo can stink it up or run through guys. We can see him do either of them, and I think he's effective in doing what he wants. But when it's someone dangerous, like we saw against Sergey Pavlovich and we saw against Derek Lewis, he can definitely stink it up. He'll kind of just, feel the range, which a lot of heavyweights don't know how to do. I'll give him props that he knows how to find a range and kind of keep the fight at bay where he wants it. But that's not to say that it's not stinky. It's stinky. Fights on the feet can be stinky. This was a stinky fight all the way up to the knockout. And that's totally fine. That was the game plan that Waldo Cortes Costa had. Derek Lewis is a fucking powerhouse. He will knock you out if he lands flush, so I don't blame him. But yeah, like I said, kind of a disappointing fight. We got the knockout, but the only finish on the main card. No, that's not. Yeah, the only finish on the main card, and it was kind of a disappointing one. But yeah. Now, let's talk about a fucking scrap, about a fucking good fight. Guys, John Silva's a top 3 featherweight. I'm just going to say how it is. I think he's a top 3 featherweight. I think you favor him. It sounds silly to say. I think you favor him over a guy like Diego Lopez, even though he beat him. He just beat him and he's fighting for the title. I just think he's the more talented striker. I think he let the emotions get to him. I think we all saw the emotions get to John Silva. I mean, you saw that fucking video of him crying with the belt. What the fuck was that? Like, we know he's autistic, but come on, what the fuck is that? And I think another takeaway that we get from this is that Arnold Allen is elite. He's fucking elite. He was able to have a really good striking battle with a really good striker in John Silva, who I think will be champion one day. But I think all this time off really affected Arnold Allen. Obviously, he got hurt. He hurts his hand a lot. And I think that'll be kind of his downfall. He's only lost to elite fighters, so I don't really blame him for his losses. But his time off, I think, could be a little bit of blame to him. I'm not 100% sure how long a hand takes to heal, but yeah, I think if he was a little bit more active, he could, kind of sneak his way into a title shot. I mean, we're getting another fucking Diego Lopez title shot. So, but yeah, I think this was the best. Technically speaking, the best striking fight of the night. If you talk about scrap, I think Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje was a lot better. And yeah, I mean, these two guys are elite strikers, top of the game. And I think this was a great fucking fight. Probably, other than the main event, my favorite fight for good reason. And yeah, it was a joy to watch. Like, look at this spinning elbow from John Silva. That's just fucking nasty. He does that kind of shit on the regular, and he can use his kicks. He can use his boxing. He can use his Muay Thai. He's just a really good fucking fighter, man, and I'm excited to see what he does next. But yeah, speaking of fucking stinkers, I mean, I guess Natalia Silva's up next for the title, but I think ultimately she gets mauled by Valentina Shevchenko. I mean, we saw Rose kind of take down Natalia Silva a little bit. Is Rose This is why I have the question mark. Can we say Rose Namajunas is washed, even though after she moved up, we never really saw that flash of 115, that 115 prime? I don't know. What I do know is that, come on. You can't be mad at that face. I was kind of pissed, about the fight, but you can't be mad at, about that face. She is my queen. But I think the UFC just needs to stop forcing WMMA fights. And I'm not saying that to hate on it just because it's WMMA. This was genuinely a shit fight. This was a shit fight. Fucking Natalia Silva was fucking dancing to salsa, bro. I don't even know what the fuck she was doing, but I think the UFC just needs to stop forcing WMMA fights on the main card. Obviously these fights need to happen, and women deserve to be in the UFC, and I don't want to hear it in the comments. All right, let's give them somewhere to fight. There's some good WMMA fights. Most of them aren't. Some of them are good. Some of them are really good. We just need to stop forcing a fight like this. Just shouldn't have been on the main card. But I'm kind of glad, because you talk about a fight like this, and it was also fucking dog shit. And I think the main takeaway is that Umar is very high level. he was able to dismantle Davison Figueiredo that just didn't look like he wanted to be there. I feel like everyone's saying the same thing. He was just there to collect the fucking paycheck. I don't know. He's kind of acting up right now. He's being a little bit weird. Not the Davison Figueiredo, obviously a flyweight. But back to Umar. He's just a boring fucking fighter, man. Like, I don't know what. I don't want to say what else we need. Obviously, we need finishes. Well, we just need more exciting moments from Umar. It's just nothing really exciting. Nothing that makes you want to turn the TV on. The only fight that I say that I felt satisfied after watching was the Merab fight. And that was because Merab's a fucking dog and he made that a fight. He made that a scrap. And so ultimately, I think after a fucking boring performance, I think fucking throw him in there against Sugar, man. And you throw him in there against Sugar, that fight is never going to happen. At least not before the title fight. That would be actually good matchmaking. If you threw Umar and Sugar, Merab, Petr Yan trilogy, winner faces the loser of each, and yeah, I think that's fucking perfect matchmaking from my end. And I don't necessarily think that Figgy is washed like a lot of people are saying. I just don't think he's trying, and I think he's just kind of levels below these top bantamweights. I think even a Song Yadong beats him, which maybe could be a fight that we make next. The UFC makes next. But yeah, I wouldn't say he's washed. I'd say maybe he's just not trying, or just doesn't give a shit. But at the end of the day, he's not the level of these top bantamweights. I think they would just mog him too. So moving down, these last four couple winners, and then obviously Ty Miller. I think with the Tiba Gautier, man, I mean, he just looked human. Nothing really much else to say. He was getting destroyed by the body kicks. The only thing, he looked a little bit tired. But I don't really think you can not complain, but you can take away that he looked human and he has areas to improve. But hey, I mean, not everyone can go out there and destroy guys every night. He won the fight. He knocked... Why the fuck am I forgetting this guy's name? He knocked that Russian guy down. Sorry, guys. Puliev. He knocked Puliev down a couple of times. He probably should have finished him. And he was maybe a little bit too patient at times. But that's the game he was looking for. He was looking for that big, meaty overhand. And he just didn't get it. He didn't get enough to finish him. But yeah, good win for him. Nikita Krylov, man. I picked him to win. I didn't make a video or anything, but I picked him to win. I thought he would actually sub Mateusz Bukauskas. But I think we take away that he's not washed or chinny. Like, Modestas landed a couple of big blows, and Nikita Krylov was just able to take him. I mean, he got knocked out by a very slick left hand from Dominic Reyes and a bomb from fucking Bogdan Guskov. So I don't really think he's that chinny. Obviously, he is a little bit chinny, but I don't think as much as people say. And definitely not washed. I mean, you say new gen light heavyweight, you got to take that with a grain of salt. I don't think any of them are that good or a lot better than the old ones. But he's not washed. He could probably beat a couple of the other guys in the top 8 region. So, yeah, pretty good performance from him. Good shit, Nikita. Josh Hogan, man. The bee's knees. Hey, man, we got a new heavyweight contender. Like, say what you want about this guy. He was kind of cringy. He's trying to beat Chael Sonnen, but he's entertaining. He's entertaining to watch. He's entertaining to listen to. And he puts eyes on the screen, I think. Once he gets more of high-profile fights, he'll put more eyes on the screen. And yeah, it was a great win from him. The only thing is, Denzel Freeman might be the worst UFC fighter ever. I mean, he just gave Josh Hockett nothing. He gave him absolutely fucking nothing. I know Josh Hockett was very overbearing, overwhelming, just in his fucking face the whole time. But he really gave him nothing. He just kind of crawled up into a ball and said, fuck it. You know, it was the first middle finger UFC knockout ever. It was funny to watch. And I bet the under, so I was feeling real good about that one. And yeah, we'll see what Josh Hockett does. We'll see where they throw him in. He called Waldo Coates Acosta. I think that would be maybe too much of a upgrade for him, but we'll see what happens. And man, if only Alex Perez was consistent slash active, man. Like just exactly what it says. Like if he was consistent in his performances, he landed some really good shots against a decent fighter in Charles Johnson that has knocked out some good prospects. But he's just not active enough. He's not consistent enough. I don't know if he just doesn't bring it every time. He felt apologetic. This fucker missed weight. And he kind of cheat. I mean, I heard it in a video. He did kind of cheat. He was the first one up, missed weight, didn't even attempt to make weight again, and ultimately ended up winning the fight. Respect to him. It was a great performance. If he was only a little bit more consistent, maybe even just a little bit more active, that way he could be in there more, get more experience, and not get choked out after winning for 2.5 rounds like he did against fucking Aso Mabayev, man. But yeah, good performance from him. And I wanted to give a shout out to Ty Miller, man. He kicked off the Paramount era. They called him Adam Fugitive, by the way. Bruce Buffer, what the fuck's going on? First ever commentator to get CTE from commentating. But yeah, it was a great win. I think Adam Fugit forgot that he can move his head. He was just fucking standing there in the middle, fucking just receiving all these shots. Pause. And fair play to Fugit. He landed that spinning elbow, but it just wasn't enough. Maybe it would have knocked down a lot of guys, but Ty Miller, I don't want to say he's legit because it's Adam Fugit. And to be fair, Adam Fugit's only lost to good fighters, but this is a great performance from Ty Miller. He has the volume. I wouldn't say he has the power. He has some power, but he doesn't have the power like other guys do, like a Carlos Prates in his division. But he's got tremendous striking. He's got great boxing, and he said it himself. He was trying to set up other things. He just didn't have the chance to, and I think that fucking spinning elbow would take away all the game plans anyone could have. But yeah, great win from him. Had to shout him out. Kicked off the Paramount era in great fashion. But yeah, guys, that was UFC 324, Gaethje versus Pimlet. Let me know what you guys thought of the card. Like I said, I thought it was kind of a disappointing card. I would give it a 4 or 5 out of 10. I think the main event saved it. I think the first two fights kind of saved it, and I think that John Silver Arnold Allen fight really what sticked out to me the most. But yeah, we got another one coming next week, right up, and I will make a video about that as well. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Like I said, the year 2026, the year Halo MMA is on the YouTube MMA map. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, do whatever you need to, and I'll see you next time. Peace.